aboard, Dylan and Jeremy.
Ahoy!
Thanks, Captain.
I hope I can keep that going and I don't get tired of it.
The face you made said, "I'm
Well,
already
good thing I
tired."
don't show my face in these. I'll keep it going. I have to stick with it. And happy Thanksgiving, you two.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Hope you had a good one.
Did you guys have a good one? Good turkey day?
No.
Like I told you earlier, the pumpkin pie could have been better.
Pumpkin pie could have been better at our Thanksgiving.
Hating
It
on
was
the
kind of
pumpkin pie.
Well, to be fair, they got it from Brahms. And
Oh.
someone thought it didn't need to be frozen, need to be kept frozen, so we left it sitting out. And then I was like, I want some pumpkin pie, so I went down to get it, opened it up, and it was just like soup.
Oh, gross.
Because
Yeah.
it melted
The middle
without
was
baking.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And so then we threw it in the oven, and it didn't bake quite right, in my opinion.
It was like a pumpkin pie milkshake
Yeah, it was
with crust around the end.
Gross.
So it still tasted fine, but it was definitely not the texture you're looking for when
Yeah.
you want to eat a pumpkin pie.
For sure.
So actually, Jeremy, to bring a little bit of mixture of the grid into this, I was going to start doing the holiday again
Oh, hey. Go for
from
it.
our old
Yeah.
radio show.
Those were the days.
But today's
huh?
Thanksgiving, so I'm like,
Oh.
that's
yeah,
kind of...
what other day could you
Yeah.
put in there?
So it'll start with a kind of an original day, and I'll only do we'll just do one. I'll pick the best one I see out of that check a holiday or whatever
Sure.
that website was.
Yeah, it was
But today's
check a
Thanksgiving,
day.
so
Yeah.
we'll start with that, and then from here on out,
Excellent.
hopefully we won't land on another holiday.
But it's only Thanksgiving in America, right?
Right. There was
No other countries celebrate this.
there's obviously celebrating the un-Thanksgiving Day, which is I think another word for the people who don't want to celebrate
Oh,
the
well, I don't care about that.
traditional Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's a weird movement. There wasn't really much else. There was I think National Health Day,
Oh,
but
Ooh.
that didn't
that was
happen
about it.
today
It's pretty much
with
just
what I
Thanksgiving,
ate.
so I was like, I'll just go with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
but-
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. So for today, we're going to continue with the Mandalorian review of where
Yes.
last episode was 4.
Big ol' episode
Or
next
Four.
time. I
Yeah,
think,
last
as
episode was the
well.
halfway point, just before the day the next one comes out.
There's-
We're just in time.
There's the Tatooine one, and then the spider one.
Spiders.
And then he deals with the...
There's Crate Dragon, there's the Spider, the third one
Mando.
was,
The Mandos.
The other Mandos, yeah.
Bo-Katan.
yeah,
Mando.
Bo-Katan, and then this one was
There's
with...
This was
So
the
this was
season
the original game.
season 1 homies.
What did you guys think about this episode? Just in quick notes. Did you think it was...
It was alright. I like the last one better.
You liked the last one better? Yeah, I think I liked the last one a little bit more too. This one seemed another filler episode, which is kind of what we
Which
didn't
is
want.
Great, because
I
I love
think
filler episodes.
Also, it's not always a bad thing.
It was
But-
good to see the old characters.
Yeah,
I
but I think
did
this
enjoy seeing
episode
them
was
again.
also a sort of, hey, we're tying in the sequels.
The sequels?
With,
Well,
with
there's
Snoke.
two like versions. It's either A, the things in the pods were Snoke clones being made,
Oh.
or B, they were like super soldier test subjects that went horribly wrong.
I'll have to put a spoiler tag at the beginning of this.
Oh yeah, whoops.
I mean, it's review, so I never really got the whole thing of people not knowing what spoilers were at. And videos. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If those pods at the end are some sort of precursor to
I think they're
Snoke,
supposed to be Snoke.
You do think that too, Jeremy?
Yeah, I actually missed it because I watched the episode while I was at work. So I guess I happened to look away when the Snoke clone popped up.
Okay, we'll just jump to that real quick.
Okay.
The end where we see Moff Gideon with his Brie Larson lookalike officer.
Yeah, she did look like Brie Larson, didn't she?
I thought it was Brie Larson when I first saw it. I was like, is that Brie Larson? And I was like, oh no, it's not Brie Larson. Unless they like gave her brown well, I don't know what color her eyes are, but the eyes were did it for me, and then her face isn't exactly the same. But yeah, we saw those pickled people.
Well, that was about halfway through the episode.
Oh, right. That was halfway through.
The
At the
pickled
end, we
people.
see him with his robots.
or whatever they are.
Oh, so I was really way off.
Yeah, you jumped. You
Okay,
jumped super
well-
far.
Yeah.
Hold on the Moff Gideon.
Okay.
Let's go to
Pickle
in the
people.
base with the pickle people, which is what
Pickle
we were
Rick?
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, Pickle Rick.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was way all over the place. Okay, so the pickle people that they discovered in the Stormtrooper base, Imperial base, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You guys both think they're Snoke?
Well, so there's two ways it can go. The first thing we know for sure is that they are people who were injected with Baby Yoda's blood.
Right, because we got the
Right.
transmission from the doc.
To be force
Uh-huh.
powerful.
And that they're,
Whatever that
they're
Camino
failed
doctor guy was.
subjects. Like, whatever he was trying to achieve failed.
Right.
Now, I didn't really get a good look at it, and I haven't taken the time to, like, go there and pause the frame and, like, really get into it.
Yeah.
So, it's either A, a Snoke clone, or B, it's whatever those super soldiers are at the end. But I think it's... The more I think about it, it's probably not B, because the doctor says he failed,
Right.
and those guys
Yeah.
at the end look very much complete.
I think the things at the end are different from what these are.
they probably are.
So I was about to go give my opinion, but then that would just contradict. I was gonna say there's some sort of precursor to not necessarily the Dark Troopers Reno, but apparently in comics there were Dark Troopers that were force sensitive.
I think I remember
That's
that.
some- And so maybe they would pull what Rebels did and do some Ralph McQuarrie
Oh
inspiration.
boy, I love Ralph
So we have
McQuarrie
this-
inspiration.
You guys have seen that
freaking time.
Stormtrooper with the shield and the lightsaber,
and the lightsaber
hallway.
that with the fire hallway. Yes.
Yeah.
We all know that image. That's a classic.
That may not be it though.
This image isn't ringing any bells
Um,
for me.
It's a Ralph
Okay,
McQuarrie
most of
art
us
piece.
That's
If
good.
you've ever, you probably want to have to because you don't really care about that stuff. But if you've ever looked up Ralph McQuarrie art, it's probably one of the most more famous, not really famous, but
I'm being outed
Popular ones you would
on
see.
live podcast.
it's okay. Not every Star
I'm
Wars
gonna be
fan knows
burned at the
Ralph
stake.
McQuarrie
No.
art. So yeah, I have no idea what they are. I
You
guess
gotta
now.
call my
I thought I
source.
had an idea.
So,
We know they're trying to make force sensitives.
right.
That's obviously what they're doing, and
they're trying to make something. Here's the thing: they're not trying to just make force sensitives. They're trying to make something that is extremely like high midichlorian.
Well, he said the word M count. Like these things had we had promising results. These things had really high M counts, which is probably the
Bruh,
midichlorian.
just say
count.
midichlorian. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know why they shy away from it.
So in Legends, the whole Palpatine makes clones of himself is like that's a thing.
Right.
But in Legends, he chews through like a clone a day because there's so much like dark side like energy
Sure.
that the clone bodies basically like fall apart after a day of being used. So he's basically like body hopping every 24 hours.
What if this is how they introduced Starkiller?
It could be that.
Bruh.
I don't think so.
But
don't even.
I think that's kind of the same timing. They're like, hey, we need someone who's like able to withstand all this stuff for the Emperor Palpatine's soul to hop into.
I hope it's a little bit more than just setting up Episode 9 stuff.
Kind of feels like it is though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it has.
agree with both.
I hope it has more to do with what we're actually watching, rather than just an
Right.
Easter egg.
Exactly. Like at least in the
Um,
case of the Clone Wars, it's directly tying into the prequels because it's the same characters. This I feel like could be its own thing, so I don't see why it feels the need to tie into Episode 9. And it doesn't seem like Disney is doing much with the sequel era anyway anymore. They seem like they're kind of leaving it to go to their High Order era or whatever. So,
High Republic.
High
era,
Republic.
yeah, which is just comics anyway.
Right.
As far as I know, it's just been comics
Mm-hmm.
and
Books.
So
books.
I don't see the need to tie into it. I mean, I guess it's a cool Easter egg, but is it worth
I
it at the
wonder-
expense of the story?
We've kind of talked about the guys at the end. I wonder if they're like the next phase of Dark Troopers. Because in Rebels, we see the Phase 1.
After the Robo ones.
Thrawn has a couple of the Phase 1 Dark Troopers.
But they're just robots, right? Droids.
Yeah, Phase 1 are just droids.
Oh,
So
I
are
don't.
Phase 2.
I don't really remember. My only knowledge of Dark Troopers is from the Empire at War game,
Yeah.
the
that's-
expansion pack,
That's
where you
basically
have.
it. For the most part.
But weren't all of them droids?
Yeah, but you have to remember, they're all standing perfectly straight and still.
Well, so we're mixing.
I jumped to the end.
Oh, you're jumping to the robots. We're on the pickle people
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
I was just getting
No,
to
I
it.
think
Friendship and
the people at the
pickle
end are
people.
Dark Troopers of some sort. That's what I think.
I kind of thought they were just Imperial pilot armor, because he likes piloting, I guess. I don't know. It didn't click in my head that they were Dark Troopers.
Well,
you
I'll
don't
say
really
this:
get a good
they
look
don't.
at
Yeah,
it.
you don't get a good look at them, and what you do see doesn't seem like they would be. But if I think of like super, I mean, they looked like they had a lot of metal on them. I don't know.
They
That's
were
just
all
my guess.
standing perfectly still, and they were kind of like in these little pods.
It would be a cooler tease if it was Dark Troopers than Imperial pilot armor, because I was like, oh, there's pilots.
Yes,
Wow,
he has
that's
pilots.
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
That seems to be the main consensus amongst the other Star Wars fandoms, that they're Star Troopers of some sort.
Yeah.
That's why I put my money by on
Where's
that.
the Purge troopers at?
Is that what are the
Purge
first?
troopers are from Fallen Order.
Oh,
They're
duh.
the last batch of clones made to hunt down the
The
Jedi.
Oh.
shock stick.
The ones with the clone voices, except not the clone voices.
Yeah.
Even though they have the clone voice actor there. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, you sound a bit heated.
Just a little
Um,
salty.
Okay, so let's
What
go
am I not?
to. I guess we've already covered the Dark Troopers. You think they're Dark Troopers, Dylan?
I'm pretty. It's about, yeah, I'd say there's a 75% chance.
That's my bet. I don't know. I hope we see something new. We haven't seen Dark Troopers live action. We just seen them in that in the Rocky training scene, whatever. Thrawn from Rebels, just punching him, whatever.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't know. I guess I'm really indifferent. It seems like we've introduced all these like threats that are coming this way, and I don't know which one I want anymore. Like we had Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have Dark Troopers. Ahsoka's out there.
Right.
Which I saw. I don't know if it was like a fan like me.
And we're already halfway through the season, so we got.
Right.
I don't know if it was like an actual picture of the actress they got as Ahsoka, or if it was someone who just did like an edit.
Well, it's probably both.
I hope we
I
haven't
think
seen Ahsoka yet. Like actual Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, it's an edit, but Rosario Dawson,
Rosario.
I'm pretty sure has been confirmed to be cast as
Oh,
her.
the edit. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a fan edit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this don't look
They'll
too
probably
good.
just make her look really good as Ahsoka, and then voice dub her with the actual voice actress.
With
That's
Ashley?
why- like Darth Maul.
Oh, you
style.
think they'll do that? Maybe.
That's what I think. I think it'd be kind of weird to hear Ahsoka some other way.
Oh, that'd be so weird though, because if you don't get the
I don't
acting
know.
synced up perfectly with the audio,
Well, they did it for Darth Maul, and
he was a hologram.
that's just an effect, though.
Okay, but you can add the little wavy lines to him to hide his messed ups in the facial view.
I think
I don't know. I thought it was pretty well done.
it's
I'm not saying it can't be well done. I'm just saying Disney movie versus budget TV series.
I think it'd be. Jeremy, go ahead.
I would agree with you, Ethan, but Rosario Dawson is like an actual actress. Like Sam
Right,
Park
no.
or Ray Park, sorry, is not.
Yeah, he's not.
an actual actor. So I feel like they'll probably get Rosario's voice, and it's not the first time we've had a different voice for a main character, as we saw with the Clone Wars. Although that is going the other way.
All I want is the owl.
I'm
Just give me
sure
the
as an
owl.
actor you would want to have your own voice in the thing.
But we'll see. I mean, I'll be fine if they do it either way, I suppose.
No, Ethan. As we've learned from, I already forgot the actor's name, but having your face on screen is more important than playing the voice and acting as. The
We don't know
character.
exactly what happened
That's
with
true.
Pedro Pascal and Mandalorian, but I guess from here on out it's not actually him, because they said around halfway through the season that's when he left.
I mean, after seeing these first few few episodes, I kind of understand a bit more where he was coming from. Possibly, it's like, look, there's all these other Mandos that get to take their helmets off. Like, Bo-Katan took hers off like every time she opened her mouth.
I could see why he would be upset if he entered into the show going, oh, I won't take my helmet off because Mandalorians don't take their helmet off. And then he meets other Mandalorians that do, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, I did it, to be faithful to that.
I kind of hope they
series,
find a way
but
to have him take his helmet off.
They should just, they could
I get
convert him.
It's kind of the point. And I think most of the time he probably should have it on, but I hope.
Here's the
Well,
thing.
I don't know. I guess the damage is already done. I don't know if able to get it back.
I don't. If they try to like find a way for him to get to take his helmet off more, okay, fine. But what actually bothers me is the simple fact of like every time, like Bo-Katan literally took her helmet off every time, like in almost every conversation.
No, right. I like.
And that
I
kind
want
of
balance.
annoys me that they're like talking. It's got to come off. Like we got to go through this motion
Yeah,
every time we start a
it's
conversation.
I don't want him to take it off like he's in an MCU movie or something. You know what I mean? Where
Right.
every single... Like, remember in Black Panther when they're talking to each other during that last fight and their helmets come off every single time they talk and then it goes back on right when they start fighting again? It's like, okay, we don't need to do that. That's a little much.
It also reminds me of the like MMOs and other video games where you can click the hide helmet
Yeah, like in Mass Effect.
option.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I hope they keep the theme of him being able to keep his helmet on. But I think, especially if we go into like a third season with this thing still going, I think the novelty of that might wear off for me.
Here's the thing. I'd rather prefer like what they did with the I don't know the actor's name earlier, but the first episode where the guy's like, I'm not Boba Fett, I'm just gonna not wear the helmet for most of my scenes. Like it's not even gonna be around. I'd prefer that over helmet off, helmet on, helmet off, helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because that's
either wear
kind
it
of
or don't.
jarring. Right.
Okay, where we're
Like,
just
they
talking
do
about.
it on the ship. I'm getting back to the third episode, but they're like in the Imperial gunship. Yeah, okay, they probably killed everyone on it, but it's like we're on a combat mission and we're taking off our helmets.
Right. And
like
walking around like, no, let's go.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get back to the current episode rather than the helmet thing. I want to talk about. Did you guys? I think there's been a time jump in this episode because Grief Karga was in this episode, and he looks a lot older. And also, Grief and Kara.
just the stress, man.
She's what?
He's stressed out.
He has built like an entire town now.
Yeah, he's
like he
stressed.
has a school system. Has there been a time jump? Like,
Guess there'd have to be. I'm trying to remember.
There's been a filming time jump.
well, right,
For
but I feel like
Borat.
there's been like
There has to be,
several
'cause we
years of
go-
a time jump
we
going
go
on.
From I don't know how big of a time jump, but we go from the last episode of season 1.
I'm pretty
which
sure
is
most
him,
viewers won't pick up on that.
which is him leaving Navarro to him being in a fighting club. Like that's
Right.
that's the ending
Right.
and opening.
Yeah, we don't have
scenes
much of a way to tell how long it's been. Probably a year or two.
No, there's no indication, but it just seems like
Well,
people have aged quite a bit.
Yeah, the indication is basically we don't see the closing scene being the opening scene between seasons. Like if you had shown him flying off of Navarro at the end of season 1 and then him in the ship in orbit of Navarro season 2 is the opening scene,
Mm-hmm.
then you'd be like, okay, there's no time jump because this is like just the same scene like 2 minutes apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's but what we
Right.
get is he leaves Navarro. He's now on random planet with dark devil dogs that come out at night and
Mhm.
battle
Yes.
ground arena.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like to me that several years have passed.
No, there's definitely. I don't know about several years.
I don't know about several, but yeah, there's
not.
been some time passing.
There's also the problem of I don't know what the guy who plays
Grief Karga?
Grief Karga like. If he just like
He looks really different to me. I almost didn't think it was him
Mhm.
when he showed up on screen.
My question is like,
Because even his performance is crazy
between
different.
Season 1 and 2, did he like grow out his facial hair, get kind of?
Well, in the first season, he has that mustache.
Yeah,
and
but
his hair's all colored.
Is it a director's choice in changing the character, or a compromise of the actor?
Oh no, I'm sure it's a costume thing.
Yeah.
He hasn't aged like that permanent. Like it's a costume thing, I'm sure.
Well, I was wondering if he looked like that before, and then they like dolled him up for the first season.
Oh, I don't
Could
know.
be.
And he was like, I don't want to go.
Well, his hair looked colored to me, colored white. I mean.
Yeah, no, you could be right.
I agree.
And he had a different facial hair, and his performance was crazy. Like in the first season, he's kind of like a scoundrel, and this one he's a
He's an upstanding
Caring,
businessman.
upstanding,
I'm the mayor
like,
of the town.
governor.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
So
went,
when he's talking to Amphibian.
he went
Man,
from mafia boss to
Amphibian Man.
the blue guy.
my blue boy, my beautiful blue boy.
Oh right, he came back. Yeah, I liked him in this episode.
I was very happy to see him.
I thought he was
back.
actually pretty funny.
He kind of made the episode for me. I was very pleased to see he returned.
The scene where he's like ducking up and down behind the cover. For some reason, that really got me. I laughed like literally out loud.
It
when
almost
happened.
sounded fake. Your laugh.
I know it was real. I don't know. It tickled me. Like it. I don't know. Maybe I have that dumb sense of humor sometimes, but it really got me.
I really
You know
like.
how some people though they like actually laugh, but it's like it like breaks up weird when they're laughing.
I've
so
noticed
it
my
sounds
my
weird.
laugh has changed over the years.
Oh, yeah,
like I really like you can distinctly hear the ha 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 ha.
Yeah. That's what makes it so, like sometimes I'm like, is he fake?
My laugh has become more fake sounding.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I don't know what that means really. Anyway, before
Yeah.
the blue guy, we were talking about time jump. I also want to talk about something else. When we went into the school scene, we had our Baby Yoda cuteness.
Dude, I want some blue
scene.
Oreos.
Yeah,
Those look
whatever those
good.
things were.
Those look delicious. I was getting hungry.
those totally looked like something that you would see in like a vending machine.
I was licking my
Like,
lips for sure.
I don't like that colored food type
They
stuff.
look
Like,
mint flavored though. I'm not sure if I'm about the
True.
mint flavor.
True.
I don't know. Yeah, Baby Yoda, one of them though. That's all we knew.
Baby Yoda will eat anything.
He was being
And that
so
kid-
cute with his
That
big
kid
old
was
eyes.
super confused. That kid's eye lines, which I'm not blaming the kid. He's just a kid, but he was like totally not looking at Baby Yoda
No.
during his scenes. I was
I
noticing
guess
that at least.
I guess there's only so much
Well,
you can
you're a
do.
director, Ethan.
I not yet. I don't want to call myself one yet. But yeah, that guy. It seemed like they had someone off camera, which I'm sure they did, saying like, "All right, look at Baby Yoda. All right, look back over the front, like you're confused." And he's kind of sitting there like,
he's like,
"What do I do?"
I don't.
Like he seemed he was being directed on
What is
on,
Baby Yoda?
on the take. Anyway, he's just a kid. It doesn't matter. But I want to talk about something.
Excuse me.
Jeremy, did you notice the girl with the Ray haircut?
What
in the classroom?
girl? Hey, that is funny that I made that reference. No, I did not. She had the 3 bun.
Okay. Yeah, there was a girl in the classroom that had the
I hate
the
that
triple
haircut.
bun.
I hate
haircut.
that cut.
And I also want to spend some theory time. I don't really believe this theory, but I'll go ahead and pitch it to you guys anyway.
Go for it.
There's a chance that girl may have been Ray. And that Disney may have just said that Ray and Baby Yoda went to school together.
No.
You want me to make my case?
Yeah, make your case. But
Okay. This is assuming that there's been at least some sort of time skip between seasons. Okay, so The Force Awakens was 30 years after the Battle of Endor.
sure.
Rey's age during The Force Awakens was 19 years old.
The First Awakens.
And this is all off of Wiki, basically.
Okay.
But I tried to source it, and that's pretty much the consensus is how old she was.
Sure.
Rey's birthday was 11 years after the Battle of Endor.
Dude, you put in some
And-
research.
Yeah, well, it only took me a little bit, but I have this list that I'm looking at right here. Mando started 5 years after the Death Star exploded,
Okay.
which means Rey's age during this episode would be in the range of 5 to 10 years old.
Sure.
And then years what was this, Sarah? Years passed since Mando's start. Okay, so in order for this to work, it would mean that since Mando has started, 10 to 15 years. I don't believe this theory, but we would have to believe that 10 to 15 years have passed since the start of the show.
Sure.
Now, depending on how old Greef Karga has gotten, I mean, he's went from a young-ish looking man to white-haired grandpa governor.
I don't know about young.
So,
I mean, Carl Weathers is in his 50s.
He wasn't young, but he was
Here's
lively.
what throws me off, though, is Cara Dune doesn't look like she's aged that much.
No, she doesn't.
She looked as beautiful as ever.
I don't know, do you think Disney would want to say, like, oh, look, Rey and Baby Yoda went to school together?
Well, here's the thing. I'd have to be like, okay, well, from what I understand, Rey was about...
I have it here that...
I'm guessing here, Rey was, 6 when she ended up on Jakku? When her parents ditched her?
Right.
I don't know.
In the same outfit.
I know, I'm just taking a guess.
It would have to be between 5 and 10 years.
I'm just saying, so they'd have to go to Navarro and then immediately go to Jakku.
Not immediately. I mean, she could have been like a 11-year-old when they dropped her off.
That's true.
She didn't look 11.
I'm just assuming she was like, yeah.
I don't remember what she really looked like.
She looked pretty young.
She's a little girl, probably like 6.
And she speaks in like little girl, like Ma.
That's true.
She doesn't really use full sentences.
Don't go! Remember that?
Yeah,
Classic.
I remember that. It's not a strong theory. I don't expect it to be like
debunked.
Well, what scares me is that I feel like Disney would do that. That they'd
right.
Like,
well, that's why I
Rey
kind of put work into it.
And Baby Yoda.
So they could say Baby Yoda and Rey went to school together. It may not make sense.
Yeah, could happen. It could be a thing.
It could.
But
I hope not. But it could.
We've had other retcons in Star Wars since Disney has acquired it.
That is
thus
very,
far.
very true. That is very, very true.
I feel like there's a slight chance it could be true. My bet would be not so, but it was the sliver of chance that may be interested in.
If you really like, if I was a director doing that and I wanted
there was
to
also
make it more obvious, I'd have like a parent rush in and like quickly escort the child, like her, off.
Well, they held the camera on her for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think. And also, it's pretty funny. This one's kind of just salt in the wound, but the girl she whispered to, because she whispers over to a girl, it's like, oh look at that thing, the Baby Yoda thing. The girl she whispered to is a person of color, black girl with goggles on her head.
Bruh,
so she can be the stormtrooper lady.
Jana. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, that would be.
You know what?
Horrifyingly hilarious if it was Rey and what was her name, Jenna?
I think Jana. You know what? If it was actually Rey, here's what they would do. Baby Yoda would come in and he would want the mint Oreos, and the kid would say no, and then Rey would use her scavenger tricks. Baby Rey would use her scavenger tricks and grab the mint, and she would walk over to Baby Yoda and go, "Here you go, buddy," and smile at him, and then they'd have this cute little moment together. And it would show Rey, and she walks off, and you see her haircut, and it's like, oh, it's Rey. It's Rey from the movies. You know, like, I think they would put a lot of emphasis on it. And especially her kindness to dear old Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
It's also Jon Favreau, whatever his name is. I can't name names in the movie.
He's the showrunner.
Yeah. Who directed this episode?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It was not a memorable name like Bryce Dallas Howard, I suppose.
At least they kept it to something small and not like what Jeremy was just describing. Like if it was a Rey cameo, at least they just kept it really simple and like, because I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice either.
I noticed because she was dead center of the frame, and we were looking at it for quite a bit.
Oh,
I was like,
I didn't notice it at all.
Please don't let that be a Rey cameo. I mean, it wouldn't matter to me at all. I think it'd be kind of silly, but
yeah.
I don't know. It was this young white girl with a triple bun. I'm like, well, shoot, I'm gonna look into the years of this thing. Because I saw that and I also saw Greef Karga. I was like, did they just like force the timeline to let Rey be in school with Baby Yoda?
Right.
That's why I thought it happened
Oh,
when I saw
okay.
this episode.
My hope is that it was just a little Easter egg, and
Man,
it was
though,
saying
5
that haircut
years
is
of
in the
defending
universe.
The child from bounty hunters and assassins.
Well,
though.
that's the thing. If they're willing to do large time jumps in the show, maybe we can see an old man like Logan Lando with a
Right.
teenage Baby Yoda.
Uh-huh.
It's just weird to think that like if they did
Because I'm starting to think they might carry this into the sequel trilogy area.
it's just weird to think like
Maybe.
if they did like a 5-year time 10-year time skip. It's like, wait, telling me Mando's been killing bounty hunters coming after them for 10 years straight?
Right. Like, this dude's still looking for Jedi? It's been 10 years and this dude is still
Like-
doing side quests?
Yeah, it doesn't seem very likely to me, but it's just the sliver of possibility that kind of like gets me thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Because we've always said that what's the show gonna do with Baby Yoda? Because there's kind of a wall.
Here's another thing. If it's been 10 years, wouldn't Pilot Dude be like basically retired?
Pilot dude,
Yeah, the old pilot guy.
who's the old pilot guy?
The guy, he saves him on the ice planet. He talks to Greek Card at the end of this episode, and he's in the first season when they blow up the pirate space station.
Was he in this episode?
Yeah, he talks to Greek Card at the end. He's like, "Is there anything you remember about the Mandalorian and
Mm-hmm.
what he was doing and the Imperial base?"
Kind of like the bigger guy with the long hair.
No, he's an old Chinese guy. Not to be racist.
It's not racist.
It's just
He's
it's just
Asian.
ethnicity. I don't remember this guy.
He
Is
was
that the end
the
of this
fighter
episode?
pilot. He was
He's
in
the
he was
fighter
in the
pilot.
same
Oh, the rebel fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Okay.
he was in episode
Wouldn't he be
2.
like retired?
I don't know. He was old in this episode too, but I don't think we saw him in the first
He was the
season.
same age in the first season.
Did we see him in the first season?
Yeah, he's the guy who blows up the.
I actually think I went back that he's not in that scene.
Yeah, he's,
Dave Filoni is. I don't think.
it's him and Dave Filoni. Yeah.
Pretty sure they had a black guy in Dave Filoni.
Well, there's 3 fighter pilots in that.
I think the other one was an Asian woman.
No, it was that guy.
Are you sure?
50%.
All right, what else? What else you got for us?
All right, that was kind of the big thing I had to get over.
Okay.
Jeremy, you sent some information my way. Well, done with the episode
Sure.
as far as that's concerned.
Oh yes, I'm basically the
We got some
producer for the
information.
show. So there you go. So
Yeah,
give me money.
We got some information on. I would give you money if I had money to give. The Obi-Wan casting call that was rumored for the Obi-Wan show that I guess is still happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a casting call out for a black person of color, or black indigenous person of color. Is that what the acronym said,
Yeah.
Jeremy?
It is a little redundant. I think they just mean a black person.
indigenous person of color, female co-lead, and a Latinx actor, which is just a Latino, right?
It's Latino or Latina. It's so they don't put a O or A there. It's
Oh, okay.
you know
La-
like it can go either way.
Latinx actor to join.
And
Well, one's a co-lead, and one's just another.
comedic white male.
So here's my big issue. I don't know if issue's the right word for the Obi-Wan series. It's like he's supposed to be on Tatooine making sure Luke Skywalker don't get got. Like like that's his job. So it's like he can't leave the planet.
Well, there's ways to get him off the planet without him willfully leaving. He could get captured or something.
True.
I mean, he's Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
so I
but
mean,
then it's like, but this is Obi-Wan.
If he gets captured, I think Darth Vader would be on him like
Yeah,
a fly
yeah.
on a dog.
well, I think
real
I don't
quick.
necessarily mean
You mean like pirate capture?
like maybe Hondo comes and grabs him.
Okay, that I can
My friend.
go with.
I would like that. I love Hondo. I really like Hondo.
Hondo Odaka.
Um,
You all know
but as far as the casting call, I don't really care. I mean, you're gonna need other actors and actresses in the show, so
It just sounds like a very
No, I
typical
want
Disney
just
casting
Obi-Wan
call
out
to
in the
me.
desert.
I mean,
doing
it,
Jedi
it does
things.
seem typical. I mean, but I don't know why you need certain races for the parts because it's space. Like it's Star Wars.
It
like,
tells me they're writing for how the character looks, not how the character is first. That's what it says to me.
I mean,
Which doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't. I mean, that's it's Disney, so we know they're gonna do that.
Yeah. And of course,
but-
the comedic lead they're casting for is a guy, so which means we're going to have another dumb idiot guy who's really silly and falls over, but he's got a heart of gold, but he's a freaking idiot.
As long as they don't make
He's got
Obi-Wan
a
silly
heart of gold.
and dumb. We have our
Obi-Wan's the king of trolls.
we have our
though.
straight white male who's the cool guy, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it that
As
way.
long as we've got him.
He is the king of trolls. But if they go and ruin Obi-Wan, then I'll be very sad because Obi-Wan's my fave.
Do you think Obi-Wan will emit a crate
You have to
dragon
remember,
scream?
The actor that is playing Obi-Wan is the same actor who was in Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
It is Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
He sung high praises for that movie.
It's true.
He was definitely
He's
a
kinda gay.
champion of social justice. I thought he was kind of like above it, I guess. Like he's an accomplished actor. I was like, he doesn't need to get pity points, I guess. I mean, he
Yeah.
went through all that.
Yeah.
He had a lot of drama going on. I think he was labeled an abuser or something. So
Something
he had
like
to,
that.
apparently he had to make up a lot of ground in that area, which is why he
And to
probably did that film.
get people
and
to try to forget.
went crazy with
Oh,
all
crap.
all the press stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I'm kind of getting out of celebrities. I don't really care about them anymore. I just hope they do good work
Right.
as far as their
Yeah.
real life. I'm not really caring anymore unless they're like actually cool people.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to hear their politics, right or left.
Uh-huh.
I really don't.
The whole point is it's an escape. It's escapism.
Right. Yeah, like with Mark Hamill, I don't know if I've talked about this in the show before, but when he did his whole, oh, look, Barack Obama was A New Hope and Donald Trump was
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, and then now this
Right.
is Return of the Jedi. I was like, look, no matter what side you're on, Star Wars is above this.
Right.
Star Wars is
Star Wars
above
is so much more
politics.
than Earth
And
politics. Like even
Mark-
if it is
Mark
like,
Hamill
oh,
should
it's
know
the Nazis.
know that more than anyone on the planet, I think. Probably only taught by George Lucas that Star Wars isn't some sort of weapon for.
I think he used to.
Well, yeah, no, he used to say that Star Wars is the ultimate form of escapism.
Right. I just felt like he used to be above this stuff. Maybe it's another symptom of the good old Trump derangement syndrome, if you will.
Yeah, so it makes me sad to see that because I think Star Wars is above politics.
Me too, man.
But anyway, with Obi-Wan show, this news is just kind of like hope they cast good people. That's all I can hope for.
You don't really have anything to go on. It's just like, hey.
Well, yeah, it's just hey, it's a
out
casting
here in
call,
limbo.
and we're looking for
Right, it
these
could be
sorts of people
anybody.
and ethnicity. I'm like, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
if that's who you want to tell a story with, fine.
Right.
That doesn't really matter.
That's one thing I kind of notice with a lot of media is there's a lot of pointless like, hey, look, we're here. It's like, okay, but this doesn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, this is probably someone who dug this up. It's probably not.
No, that too.
It's probably
But
not
there's,
Disney
like,
announcing it.
There's like in video games a lot nowadays, like they'll announce something like 7 years before it's even close to being done. And then and then you'll get like, yeah, we're here, we're alive, okay, bye. And that's like all you hear about it.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather you just waited until closer to being finished to tell me it was being made.
I will say I don't know if that show's going to need a co-lead because
Right.
it's only going to be one
It's
season, I
Obi-Wan.
think. Yeah, it's Obi-Wan, and you have Ewan McGregor.
They'll kill him.
You can't kill
He
him. You
will
kind of have
be
to do
replaced
episode
with
4.
another
And they,
Obi-Wan.
they have cloning technology.
Obi-Wan clone.
But I mean, there's ways to make it work. But
That's why he changes
mean,
his name to Ben.
It's probably going to be like a really short season, probably no more than 8. That's going to be it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you need co-leads. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to do it with pretty much just Ewan, but I don't think it will hurt it.
Just bring me Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon.
I just want,
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon. Can we get Hayden in a
Give me
flashback? I think those 3 deserve to come back.
Oh, a flashback
Even
would be awesome.
Natalie Portman to make some sort of appearance.
That would be awesome.
I wish we could get some sort of live action movie with them again. I mean, it doesn't really need to happen.
Bring back Mace Windu.
Mace.
With the
I
scars.
think. Well, I mean, they
Bring
did
me
do
Samuel L. Jackson.
They did do Captain Marvel where they de-aged him.
Is that
I know.
Java juice? Now that is some tasty Java juice.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, that's all I have to say on that. You guys need more to add for the Obi-Wan casting call?
That's
I mean,
all I got.
Not really. Again, it's like, hi, we're alive.
Yeah, that's good news. At least we know the show's still happening. It's
Yeah.
not dead.
Which, I mean, that's a good thing too. But it's also like, but I also don't have it. Like, there's also
Doesn't really tell me
there.
anything.
Yeah.
But again, this is probably just they put out casting calls and then someone finds it and
Yeah. That's
it'd be a good article. So that's probably all it is.
Right.
All right. It's getting about 10:45. It's been a long Thanksgiving day. Thank you guys for joining.
Absolutely, brother. Let's do it
You
again
guys have a
sometime.
great. Oh, for sure. I guess the next episode comes out tomorrow. In fact, it's coming out pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to bed first. We'll watch it
course.
tomorrow, and then
I will probably try to watch it tomorrow. Land ho, Captain. Land,
oh, I don't know if I can
Yes,
stick with it.
Jeremy.
I'll try to
land
stick with
ho.
it. Just make it more miserable for me, and then.
Ring the bell. We got one, boys.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.